Here we are with another Friday Night Live Zoom, October 15th, 2021, and another glorious day. Another glorious day in nature. We had overcast, some rain. Just finished pulling out all the tomato plants as we're moving into some cold weather next week. And once they get some freezing, some frost on them, they start rotting. So might as well take them all out. Hope everybody's doing freaking amazing. And we see if anybody's on. Hopefully, if anybody's on, they can hear me. Let us know. Avesta, hello. How you doing? We are in very glorious times upon us. Massive changes for Mother Earth and humanity. Doing great, Vesta. Great to hear you're doing great. We always have to be aware people do what they do. I don't keep track of everybody. Avesta, everybody has their own free will to do as they choose. People come, people go, people come, people go. So the healthy lifestyle is something where I've seen for the last 3+ decades is not something many people pay attention to until they need it. They need to address it. Everybody has, there's over almost 8 billion people. There's 8 billion different opinions on the planet, at least. And it is what it is. We are here. If anybody wants support, we're here. If there's no need for it anymore, it'll come to an end. It's 6 years in the making. Master Fast has put out information that has changed the true detoxification world like no other. I haven't seen anything do what the information that Master Fast system has brought forward. The next phase of things will be coming from plasma technology, I believe. technology of divine light, because we don't want to get involved in the Luciferic bright light. The Luciferic bright light is the light that will blind you, right? It's the false light. When we refer to the light, we only refer to the divine light from the one and only. And, choose your path of your faith. Be wise. There's a lot of misleading stuff out there, especially in the new age type of stuff. It's a lot of false light out there. So be aware. We've all been down those roads and went down those experiences and find out the hard way sometimes. But be clear and be wise and have the pure light of the divine in your heart, the Christed light, and focus on peace, balance, correct conduct at all costs, and everything will work out in this realm or the next. We are here temporary. Hey, Barbara, how you doing? Good, you're doing great despite the madness in Canada and being the light for others. There's madness in many places, not just Canada, down in Australia and certain places in Europe and so on and so forth. Yeah, over here it's turned to China with some crazy court rulings as well. It's really becoming like a dictator communist state. I guess it's needed or it wouldn't happen. We need to get into I believe, the darkest of the dark in order for the masses to be awakened through the divine light. It's always been the case in human history on this planet, and I'm afraid we're at that place again. I'm afraid, but I'm not afraid, but we all must go through this experience or it wouldn't happen. Let's put it that way. Everything happens the way it is because it's supposed to happen. I've had this insight that the more one cleans up and fast, one unlocks more chakras and Sita's psychic abilities. Do you have any experience with these? Fasted for a long time already. Oh, absolutely. Especially when you're in a fasting state, you can, all your senses are multiplied by a great deal. For myself, it's a night and day difference. When I'm eating, I'm in a more numbed out state. It doesn't matter what I'm eating. It's numbed out. When I get into the fasting state, it's just things open up to me much more so. I'm much more sensitive to matter going through my body than probably most people. Some people, they're not affected by ingesting different matter as I am. But yeah, your dreams would be more vivid and more colorful, and you're able to remember them much better. You can sense things. For example, I think about somebody and the phone rings and it's that person. A lot of things like that. You get more and more. Everybody has these what we call psychic abilities. If you work with them, you can improve them. I don't really focus on that stuff too much, but it's there. It's all there for all of us. So if you want to work on that, if you're interested in that stuff, just be more conscious of it and focus more on it, and allow that energy to flow through you. as far as the fortune telling stuff and all that stuff, um, there's people that have these capabilities and so on and so forth. But question is, do we want to be in that place? Because that will have influence on your intent and emotion at subconscious level. And I don't think it's a great place to be. Right? I think we should just use our heart's intent and emotion to allow ourselves to go down the path of the divine light as best we can, and with everybody involved in our family and friends and so on and so forth. So if you have any experiences you want to share, go ahead. Fasting lifestyle is a lifestyle for the few of the few, and it always has been and will continue that way, until we reach a point where food is not something that humanity will need anymore. We will more and more, I feel, go down that path of acknowledgement that energy does not come from food. And that will open up more and more for the whole of humanity. Just like the 100th monkey syndrome, when somebody does something or that information is presented, the whole world is, it's available to the whole planet because we're all connected. And that's just the way it is. Hello, Christina.
Hi, everyone. I'm Barbara.
Sniffing some sage. Beautiful stuff.
Anything you want to share?
I'm all out of sharing. You could share whatever you like. Your energy feels so peaceful. Yeah, I'm in a very relaxed state today. What's new on the world horizon? More and more of humanity is either going in a deeper sleep or waking up. I always have both sides of the fence. Barb, I want to get on Zoom, but couldn't remember the numbers. The numbers are on the MasterFast website under the Zoom protocol under menu, I believe. Go to masterfast.com, masterfastsystem.com. Go under menu and go under Zoom, and the numbers there for the Zoom meeting. Doesn't show up over here. I could have posted it for you. Let's see. Yeah, menu Zoom protocol. But if you're using the same Zoom, it usually has,
2 members.
yeah, it usually has a memory in there, I believe. There you go, Barbara.
Hi, Joanna.
Hello. Hello, you wonderful people. Joanna, how are you? Everybody loved your download from the about the raw juice versus the cooked juice. We were talking about it a couple of calls ago, I think. Yeah. Everybody wants to know exactly how everything works, and you know, it all comes down to we're all going to find our own answers as we dive in deep within. It doesn't matter about anything else. We can share our experiences and we can learn from each other, and a lot of it will have similarities for sure. And that's what I've noticed in the last 3+ decades. People fast and a lot of similar things happen. The body starts purging, all kinds of stuff, all kinds of emotions start coming to the surface from our life and our ancestral lives. And we start rejuvenating the physical body as we purge. The mind becomes clear, etc., etc., etc. Doing great. Thank you for downloads on downloads when dry fasting. That dry fasting times are the amazing information times. It's just you know, once we pass the stages of the infant stages of starting our dry fast, and we start really getting into the dry fast, because we have more confidence and we don't get as many crazy healing reactions and so on and so forth. That still can come down the road, believe you me. You know, once we're more confident and we can open up to the information downloads much more, especially on the long ones, on the season changes. Barbara, I record. What does that mean? What happened? Oh, Christina, before a butterfly is born, it has to go through metamorphosis and transformation. I feel we are going through this stage as a humanity too. Yeah, absolutely. It goes into its dark place, into the cocoon. And then voila, the butterfly springs forth after whatever number of weeks it takes. I can't remember. Maybe different for different caterpillars. So yeah, the metamorphosis, we've talked about that a lot in the fasting lifestyle. We all go through this metamorphosis. We go through the dark phases. We go through the gates of hell to get to the gates of heaven, so to speak. It's very interesting how each one, we all go through very similar things through our detoxification time. The healing reactions are the thing that many people bring forth fear because of lack of experience in fasting generally and the unknown. There's a lot of stuff going on out there with fasting these days, and some stuff that I see people promoting is not prudent at all. But that's just like with everything else, right? Buyer beware. Be prudent in all things you do, especially fasting. Fasting, a modern day man or woman today, which is at the highest toxic levels ever, probably in the history of humanity, you got to be a little bit careful. And that's why we say be prudent. People get in trouble. They get in trouble. They don't follow protocol, they get themselves in trouble, or they're following whatever they're following. So it's better to be prudent and wise and take your time, no rush. And embrace everything that comes to the surface. Just embrace it. Healing reaction comes, jump for joy. Even if you don't feel like jumping, jump for joy in your mind. Because we always come out stronger after a fast. Always. Unless what? Unless we go cuckoo and go crazy on obstructive foods to try and kill ourselves. That's the only time we don't come out stronger. And those times can be very dangerous, as we've seen with some people. So be prudent, be wise, follow the protocol. It's so simple to follow. Once you have the understanding of the basic functions of what we're doing, it's a glorified dry fast. We're squeezing the sponge in intervals of strength. Daily we do a little squeeze, weekly we do a bigger squeeze, monthly we do a bigger squeeze, and every season change we do a massive, really tight squeeze. And that's it. We just do it over and over and over again. And in between we're washing. It's that simple. That's the concept of master fast, a glorified dry fast. We work around the principle of dry fasting. That's it. It's that simple. And everything that comes with it, the fasting lifestyle. So first and foremost, we must, it would be wise to choose a spiritual path, a divine spiritual path as a lifestyle. And fasting will enhance and help you in every which way down that path. So yeah, I think we're building the cocoons now. going to very, very dark places. So we have lots of time to contemplate and reflect and go inwards deeper and deeper and keep that divine light focus very, very strong. Because as I was saying earlier, maybe some of you were not, there's the false light, the Luciferic light, the very bright Luciferic light that will blind you. It's the light of deception. Joanna, MassFest keeps me sane and allows me to trust. Europe is going crazy. In Italy, they're not allowed to work anymore without the vax pass and won't get support from the country when getting fired because of it. Yeah, it's happening here. It starts happening here in Germany as well. Only allowed to go shopping when jabbed. Humanity definitely has to go through very dark times until it finds the light. Yeah, the divine light. Let's always make that clear, because the deception is around us in every which way, form. And we're not here to lead anybody into any false teachings or anything. That's why find your own path in your divine light spirit, belief system. And keep it in your heart. Yeah, this is a global agenda, as we've discussed. It is what it is. We must go through this because we are going through it. Like I said, everything happens exactly the way it's supposed to, otherwise it wouldn't happen. So there's reasons for what's happening. And, for those of us who are awake and see through it all, we just can continuously pray for all the others and continuously elevate the souls, especially the leaders who have all taken bribes to enslave us all. Their soul is going to need extra help like no tomorrow, because of what they're doing at a grand scale. They're responsible for every single mishap and things that happen, of what they're doing to the people. Every death, every injury, every extra person who goes hungry because of their decisions, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They are responsible for all that. Just imagine that, having the weight of that on your shoulders. And they all have that. They've chosen to go in those positions, and for whatever reason, through their power hungry addictions or whatever, because that's what most of it is. You can see it very clearly when somebody takes a bribe. They will do anything for money. Doesn't matter what it is. They will kill, maim, murder. They will at all costs. They don't. They will. They have no morals. They are as cold as ice. They're as cold as ice, and that's why they need our prayers more than ever, so that hopefully they will. Their soul will shake them out of that materialistic, Luciferic crap, and repent and beg humanity for forgiveness, and especially the divine creator. Joanna, those are the people I'm sending most love to in meditation. Awesome. Awesome, because they do need it.
Yeah, may I say something? They might need it, but excuse me, we need it too. We need it too. And we definitely all can use the power of God, through our prayers, coming closer to God to be helped and guided. I wouldn't, I myself would pray for me first to be saved, because I feel the entrapment, and we all do. Okay, to one extent or another, we all do. It's just, this is the way the system is designed. This is how it's designed. And that's okay, we have accepted it for so long, so it's our responsibility. We thank God that we're able to see some things, right now I believe it's important for us to ask for guidance because it's hard to make decisions, and people are disagreeing with their own homes. Look at the family all around us. Yeah, look at the families all around us. There's a lot of disagreement. It's pretty sad. That's what I'm going to say. It's very sad, and we pray for ourselves to be saved and guarded at this time by God, the one and only. And pray for our loved ones as well to be guided and to be saved, and because this is a very difficult place that we have put ourselves in. We have accepted for so long, so we are responsible for it, and maybe that's the biggest challenge, to accept what we have done wrong. So yeah, it's important to accept it and to ask to be guided. For me to try to transform other people, that's not my job. That is absolutely not my job. That's God's job. God created them. God will deal with them. I didn't create them. Okay? I didn't create this reality. I'm sorry. It's God who created it. Some people, many people think that they created this reality. I didn't create this reality. And that's okay. But I accepted a lot of things. And I have done things that I know are not ideal in my life. And I take responsibility for that. My responsibility. I don't take other people's responsibility. Everybody's responsible for themselves. Just like with the protocol, in the protocol, everybody's responsible for themselves. We are not here to change the world. I think it's important to know that. We're not here to change the world. We are here to transform ourselves, to change ourselves to the better. And that's the best way for anyways, if we want to ever inspire anyone to change. But we shouldn't do it. We shouldn't change to inspire others. We should change for us, for our sake, because that is basically what the divine put us here for. That's our work. That's our job. Before we try to fix others, let's fix ourselves. Yeah, in God I trust. I will not be afraid. Yeah, what can mortals do to me? Yeah.
Nothing.
I will not be afraid. Absolutely. Absolutely. Only of God. That's it. I ask God to bring me the best, and what is best for me, so it's important to be humble enough to say, you know what, I'm not going to change. I can't change the world, and it's okay. It's not my job. I am not here to fix anyone. Fix my home, maybe, because it affects me, but that's it. If my home doesn't affect me, I don't even give a crap either. I have to work on me. I don't have time for this. And it's not selfish. That's why we're here, in my opinion. That's why we're here. We're here to work on us. And let's say everybody fears the creator. Yes, fears. Yeah, the creator, right? Are they gonna do anything bad? Absolutely not. But we don't believe enough. That's the thing. We don't believe enough that one day we are gonna pay for what we're doing, everything wrong we're doing. We think we're gonna get away with all the wrongdoing that we're doing. That's how I see it. So my job is not to forget about fixing the world. However, I will always stand for the truth against the oppressor. Okay, I will say the truth as it is, when I see it, and I'm not going to, because that's part of my responsibility. When I see wrong, to not accept it as right. No, wrong is wrong. And I'm not going to change that. That's the way it is. Regina, are you listening? Yeah. This was the Bible verse my parents chose for my baptism when I was an infant. Now I'm starting to understand why. Our souls are infinite, I trust. Whatever will happen, I trust the divine order. Beautiful words, Rena, thank you. Absolutely. Yeah, we trust the divine order, absolutely, whatever happens. When I say I trust the divine order, and I ask God for guidance, this is not an easy job, right? This is not just sitting in your home and doing nothing. This is a freaking war. If you see wrong all around you and you are trying to be righteous, that is a war, unfortunately. Sometimes we are put in a challenging place for a reason, you know. I would say we always have to do our best, and that's not complaining. I am sorry. Complaining doesn't get you nowhere. You can complain a little bit to just see where the problem is, but once you see the problem, that's it, you're done. If you can see it, you're done. Now it's time to work on the solutions. And how many people around me are working on the solutions? Well, there are, actually, I was surprised to see some people changing a lot in the past year, like really changing their mind about different things. And I'm actually proud of them. It's not something that they had before this whole thing happened. It's not something that crossed their mind, but they have changed their mind about some things. And I'm honestly proud for them for taking that step, even though some of them have complied with a few things that are happening right now. They still have a plan, okay? They still have a plan, and it's very different from the plan that they had before this whole thing happened. So I'm proud of people who are doing something for themselves, okay? And that's not selfish. Save yourself. If you want to be, it's important, I believe, for us to do our best to free ourselves so we can worship the Creator. Free ourselves. Enslavement, living in a corrupted manner, being enslaved to that kind of way, is just an excuse. If you have another option, it is your responsibility to do something. If you don't have another option, some people don't. Some people don't. And in that case, they will just have to do their best in other, they have to do their best. But you know what? Don't give up. Don't give up. That's what I say. Don't give up. If you have a little bit of freedom, just go that route. Go that route to do it, to get what you want.
If everything around seems dark, look again. You might be the light. Rumi. Absolutely. Joanne, I have to go back to sleep. Thank you too so much for your love, praying for all of us. Have a good night's sleep. Sweet dreams. Thanks for joining. I know it's late for you guys in Europe.
Oh, yeah.
Just checking the computer.
Do a short one today. There are no questions. Maybe soon in the future, we can make these Zooms a little bit more focused, and I'll bring questions and stuff so we can make them more useful for everyone and get Gino busy. Yeah, I think eventually I'd like to make them a little bit more focused so everyone benefits from questions and answers. Yeah, very interesting. There's so much, so many interesting things to share with like-minded people.
As we are confronted with difficult situations, just remember, my soul is not for sale. I do not consent. And keep that strongly in your heart, no matter what they do. My soul is not for sale.
Yeah,
I do not consent.
That is up to you, guys. We are not telling you what to do. You have to do it yourself. If you feel it right, do it. If you don't feel it's right, don't do it. Simple as that. We don't tell you what to do. You have to choose. This is your freedom, your life. Just like Master Fast, it's your lifestyle if you want it. If you don't want it, it's not your lifestyle. It's completely up to you. You're free.
The choice is always yours.
Yeah, and we're here to support you with the Master Fast. I love to talk about faith because I feel that's the foundation of absolutely everything in this life. Master Fast comes as an addition to the faith, a lifestyle that can help you, make your life a little bit simpler, help you release because we have been very obstructed for a long time, living the standard way. So take Master Fast as a lifestyle, nothing more, nothing less. It's in my opinion, the best that I have come across when it comes to releasing obstructions. Simple, efficient, safe, for me at least. And when we do it prudently, we have seen pretty much only safety. When we done according to the protocol, that's what our experience has been. Yeah, and then eating is another wonderful thing, and we can discuss that too. It's coming from raw food. We have learned basics for eating the least obstructive food, mainly fruits, and then salads would be next. Cooked vegetables next after that, and we can share with you how we eat every once in a while. If you guys are interested. I love food. I love the eating. I love the cooking, preparing. Even for family, they really appreciate it. It's nice to see that they really appreciate my food, which is much less obstructive than the standard way of preparing food, because there's zero oil. Sometimes I put absolutely no salt, zero fat, and they love it. They enjoy it. Maybe not as a main dish because it's light. They would have it as a side dish to their food. Yeah, and I love soups. There's honestly, like, it's just so beautiful. There's so much out there we can do. Be creative. Local is something that I've been adhering to in the past maybe 2 years. Local fruits and vegetables. If it's not local, I prefer not to buy it. So making my life simpler, simplicity, going to simplicity, working with nature, working with the environment. Why do I have to eat anything else? Why? There is food. If there's no food, no options, maybe I would, consider imported stuff. But if it is available all year long from here, I'm eating it. Without restriction. Instead of restriction, I see it as abundance and creativity. It's a challenge, but a really enjoyable challenge because, okay, what can I do? And so many recipes come to mind. You can be very creative with these. Whatever you have learned, many of you are cooks from before eating the least obstructive food, and you can apply your skills to that as well. What's your thoughts on Josie Cosme?
Jose.
Okay, Jose Cosme. What's your thoughts on vegan protein shakes when not fasting? You go ahead.
Depends what's in it.
Protein in general
First of all,
is obstructive.
protein is very obstructive. Fat, protein, going down from there. Of course, the animal kingdom is worse than the plant kingdom. So what's in the protein shake? Usually vegan proteins are a lot of pea protein, soybean. What else do they use?
Yeah.
Those are the two main ones.
Chickpeas. Maybe nuts. Maybe nuts. I don't know.
They're very obstructive. If you're focusing on protein, you're looking at things that we are lacking in our ability to produce things within our physical body. And that's why we say that, my point of view on this, my understanding about the nutrition thing, it's all bullcrap to me. It's all bullcrap. Just look at the past 100 years and how many times it's changed. If you just look at the food pyramids, for example, that all the governments have issued around the world and so on and so forth, how many times they've changed and so on and so forth. So, the whole calorie theory, you need so many vitamins and minerals.
Or for muscle building, protein for muscle building.
Yeah, well, that's they've been doing for so many years.
Mm-hmm.
It'll blow up your muscles and inflame you.
It blows you up and inflames you. Protein, in my opinion, obstructs your kidneys. Once your kidneys are obstructed,
bowels and kidneys and
well, when the bowels are blocked, your kidneys will get blocked. So it's usually a reflection of blocked bowels.
I would do green shakes. If you're
into building
and stuff, focus on greens. Throw some seaweeds.
I mean, we know that with the more fasting is, you don't need to eat for muscles, really. That's what we our experience. Yes, you're gonna get smaller when you, like, after a year of fasting. Okay, let's say you're doing a complete year of fasting, you're gonna get smaller, there's no question about it. But I would say, if you have an exercise routine happening in that 1 year of fasting, or even like fasting 5 days a week or whatever, for 6 months, you will lose a lot of weight. And strength, maybe, if you're used to eat obstructive food. But that's not really strength, because basically it's important to exercise your muscles, whatever you're doing, fasting or eating. Okay, we're used to exercise when we're eating. Now you want to try to change that and start exercising when you're fasting, and you will find that you're building muscles. There's no question about it. You're going to build muscles. Even if you don't exercise, you're going to build muscles. Even if you don't exercise, because you already had some muscles, okay? Even if you don't exercise, you're going to build muscles. But if you start exercising, things will move better, more efficiently even, than if you're not exercising.
Just look at look at the muscles built through stimulation and through all this, steroids or whatever. Those muscles, when they stop taking all that stuff and stop working out, they break down very, very quickly, and they lose it very quickly.
Yeah.
When you build a muscle on plough, what we like to call, and through hard work,
fasting,
the muscles don't atrophy nowhere near the speed from a built muscle on.
They're not inflamed. There's no
all the protein and stuff. Yeah.
Inflammation. It's the inflammation that goes down when you stop whatever you're doing. Right? Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting, but one thing is that the muscles that are built on less obstructive lifestyle are different from the muscles that are built on like heavy food. and like they're leaner, like, they're just different, you can see the different, this kind of difference in yogi's muscles, versus a bodybuilder. Very strong yogis, I'm not saying like people who can lift their body weight on their hands, and that's a lot of weight and strength, and of course the stretching, the flexibility. So the muscles look very different. They're not as bulky and big unless they're doing a lot of protein and they're doing yoga. Yeah, but many yogis are actually vegan and vegetarian, right? So yeah, the muscles are different. You can see that's how I would see it with people who go with the least obstructive food. Do you agree?
Simple. Depends. Everybody's got different outlook on how they want to live their life and what they want to look like and so on and so forth. And a fasting lifestyle does not support most of modern day man's point of view, because you will be slimmer than most other people. It's just the way it is. But like I said, if you build a muscle properly, it's stronger. It's going to have way more endurance than anything else built on matter. Way stronger and way more endurance. There's no comparison. So the choice is always yours, Jose. And how you want to do it.
Yeah.
If you have one of these protein shakes occasionally, once a month or something like that, no big deal. But you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it if you're not doing that stuff regularly, and then you do it. You're going to feel it because they're obstructive, and then you're going to know, wow, what is this stuff? Is it really good for me? And you keep doing it over and over, then you get to the point of being numbed out, and then you don't feel it anymore. And that's where most people are at, right? Because the obstructions take over the senses, and there's no more feeling. In the past, I used to exercise for wrong reasons. It was to look appealing. Now I don't do for foot. I don't for flexibility. You mean you do for flexibility? Is that what you mean? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's the thing, right? Vanity. Yeah, green smoothies.
I would definitely remove them from
Salads and green
green
smoothies.
preferred. Yeah. I would definitely remove if I'm doing, like, if I have green powder, just finish what you have and I'll stop buying it again.
Go get into some wheat barley grass powders you can put in. I'd stay with the like, look at a buffalo, bison. They eat grass exclusively, only, their whole lives. And look at the size of that thing, man. It's the thing's a beast. It's built on grass. Grass is the universal herb.
Like if I were you, I would get into juicing grasses, maybe, for like some, I don't know, kind of replenishment of just to help you out. They slow down the detox, but they're also
they're soothing,
they soothe, the inflammation. Yeah, exactly. So they do have nice. They do have a good power they add to the body as well. It's like herbs, right? The herbs, yeah.
I call it the universal herb.
The
grasses.
Grasses, yeah. Then I would do
if you have
that.
A cut
every day. I would do a few shots, if you want. Start growing them. You used to grow wheatgrass, barley grass. Barley. Yeah. He used to grow a lot. He used to make a lot of the juice, and he used to give it to people, his friends. Many people tell me about him, how he used to do it for so many years. His friends tell me they used to come here and get it from him.
I can sell it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, like if you get a cut and you put a grass poultice on it, you'll see that cut heal much quicker, and no scarring or anything. It's pretty amazing. Spirulina is a great protein and complete protein source. Yeah. Um, we've seen from people that were doing these spirulina and chlorellas for many years when they started master fasting, they were spewing out green sludge for weeks and weeks. So I don't know, I'm not really sure about that stuff because it is fungus-based kind of algae. Probably is in the fungus family.
You never got into it?
No, very little.
Mm.
So yeah, some people use that stuff, but from what we've seen, I stopped recommending these things. Yeah, I know the Vesta contains all amino acids. This is going back to all the sciences and stuff. We keep things simple. Keep things simple. We don't go down those roads. We look for things that are least obstructive, and if it's high in protein, it's not going to be low on the list of obstructiveness.
Yeah, I would do wheatgrass juices and barley grass juices over spirulina, and what's the other one? Chlorella. Yeah, and I would grow them myself too. I would just grow them and enjoy that process of growing them and then juicing them.
You get energy just being around them. I know you eat dates so now and then, but they're not very high in sugars, and in that way feeding energetic parasites. I'm not sure what you mean.
I wouldn't worry about the sugar. Fruits are the best food, how we see it. They are the least obstructive, and this is how we see food. We let go of the sugar when we started raw food, which was for you a long time ago. That sugar debate, you know, I let it go big time, a long time ago. We always, in raw food, we saw the fruits as the least obstructive, and that's why they give you the best bowel movements, without a question. But then with master fast, again, we're breaking fasts, every fast, daily fast. When you break your daily fast and you want to eat, we say always fruits, start with fruits, because they're the least obstructive. And this is how we see food. Rather than seeing raw, cooked, and this and that, we see it as obstructive versus less obstructive, the level of obstructiveness. That's how we see food. And parasites, they live on obstructions, right? Rather than sugar, they live on obstructions. So if you're eating nuts and seeds and with vegetables, I would say you'd have more parasites than a man or a woman who eats fruits only, or fruits and maybe a salad with zero fat, but mainly fruits. I would definitely say that the people who eat raw food, fruits and vegetables, mainly fruits, have less parasites and less obstructions than people who eat, let's say, keto raw vegan, which is fat and like nuts, seeds, oils, and salads and vegetables.
Environments dictate outcomes. So if you are coming from a sad type of diet or whatever diet, an everything diet, the environment is going to be conducive to grow parasites. They just appear because the environment dictates that they need to be there to clean up. Yeah, so the parasites will feed on anything. It doesn't matter what you eat if the environment doesn't change. And this is where we see a lot of people who started from going into a fruit type diet from a horrific diet, and they start bloating and all kinds of things happening because the parasites are still there and they're feeding on anything and everything they can get because the environment hasn't changed.
But slowly, the environment does change if you just eat fruits. It does change eventually.
It takes a long time.
And then you have amazing bowel movements, which changes the environment. When you have these big bowel movements after a month or 2 months, maybe some people with raw foods, then you're changing the environment big time. You never had these kind of big releases before. and now your bowels are moving like you never moved before. So yeah, so the environment will change. Don't give up on a fruit diet or a raw vegan diet. They are the best diets out there, in my opinion, from my experience. The best diets would be definitely raw vegan, high fruit, low fat, hands down. When eating, you'll feel it. However, I do eat cooked vegetables too, I love them. But we do a lot of fasting and eating the least obstructive food. I always break my fast with fruits. So I eat anything I want really now, but anything I want, my attraction is to fruits and vegetables.
You can
local, raw mainly.
You can clearly see from these different lifestyles on what comes out of the bowels. Ask a colon therapist, and they know exactly what people are eating, the kind of lifestyle from what's coming out. And the more obstructive, the more gluey, and the more inflammation people have, because it's from the diet. It's obstructive diet. And it's very clear to see. Doesn't matter what the people tell you that they feel great and everything. That's all temporary, because they're running on stimulants. Fat's a stimulant, and all these other things, so on and so forth, they're stimulants. But it's just like a time bomb ticking when you eat these obstructive foods and stimulants. If you look at the bodybuilders, they're eating all these high protein diets and everything. And a lot of them are on steroids and stuff. They're just time bombs ticking. Many of them have kidney problems and drop dead, all kinds. It's because it's just a time bomb ticking. It doesn't matter that they have all this strength or anything. It's all built on the false light, you want to call it.
I do agree.
Falsehood.
Now, the majority of people are more into keto than they are more into high carb, low fat. The majority of people, I tell you, because I see many people, when they come to me, I speak about diet to people. The average person, man or woman, they are more into keto and are more willing to let go of the sugar than anything else, including fruits.
The fat's addictive.
Including fruits. So, yeah. Now the keto, I do agree with one thing. If you're gonna eat fats and protein, yeah, I wouldn't touch the sugar, because then it's gonna ferment, because it digests much faster than the fats and the protein. So if you want to keep problems. If you want to eat the fat and protein, then yeah, let go of the sugar. You can. It's nice. I would say it would be a big challenge.
Fat and protein is.
Your sugar is gonna be high.
Some of the worst things you can do.
Yeah.
Or some of the worst mixture.
And you may feel good because you don't have that sugar problem that you had on a standard diet, eating everything. You may feel good on a keto because that combination of everything is gone. It's just fat and protein without the sugar. But if you eat a raw vegan diet, you can get rid of your type 2 diabetes. What does this tell you? What does this tell you? If you can get rid of your type 2 diabetes many people have done it. Now, I haven't done it. I don't have type 2, but many people have reported type 2 diabetes doing a raw vegan or even a vegan cooked that is low fat, right? High carb. They got rid of their diabetes. How? With all that sugar. What does this tell us? The body can process the carbs much better when they are on their own without the mixing of the fat and protein. So if they can do it, I would say everyone can. If the type 2 diabetics have no problem eating sugar, I don't know why we need to worry. The average person needs to worry.
Doesn't really type 1, type 2, same thing. Yeah, so everybody will choose the lifestyle that they want to live, and there's over 8 billion opinions on how to do that.
Yeah,
on
that's
this planet.
and then yeah, I want to say that's one thing that kind of turns people off master fast is the grape juice that we drink, because it's a fruit juice. And like I said, the majority of people are fans of the keto diet these days and afraid of the sugar, and so kind of turned off of the fruit juice that we drink. Oh, we had so many questions over the past 6 years about the sugar.
No carbon, no life. Sugar is carbon.
Fruits.
What does fat turn into the body? Glucose. It's sugar. So a harder form of sugar for the body to utilize. Still sugar. You can't live without carbon. Cohen is carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, basic amino acid elements. That's same basic structure for all life forms on the planet. We can't live without those. Another
thing I want to add,
there would be no life,
is that many of us who did raw food, we used to eat a lot of food. That's one thing that I would change, Yeah, I said that raw food is the best food, the least obstructive food, fruits and vegetables, but I would avoid overeating, because I remember overeating was kind of encouraged to overeat fruits and vegetables when you are doing raw food. I think initially it's good because you are
30 bananas.
because you're coming from eating heavy food and now you're going from much lighter, so you eat more. And fruits are amazing because they fill you up, like you get full by the volume of the food, unlike cooked vegetables, let's say, right? You eat, it's like it can be heavy, but you don't feel it because it's the volume is not that big. Whereas with fruits, the volume is big and they're light, and you will know when you eat too much with fruit. But I think we used to eat also big meals, but also frequent, like 3 big meals. I used to eat 2 fruit meals and 1 big salad, and I feel that's a little bit too much. It's absolutely unnecessary to eat this way. So it's great to combine raw with or the least obstructive food with fasting, and avoid eating all day long. Eat within a few hours. Right?
Yeah, we don't. Like we were just talking earlier, the whole nutrition theory stuff is all false. It's all theory.
Like intermittent fasting when you're eating is very important in my opinion.
Yeah.
Very important. Nutrition. Yeah, intermittent fasting is huge. Daily fasting is huge when you eat. And when you fast, the dry is also huge. Daily dry, when you fast and then you break it with liquids. Daily dry. And when you eat also.
At the end of the day, everybody's going to eat whatever they want to eat. It doesn't matter what we say.
But I'm saying intermittent fasting is huge. Trust me, there are people who are eating everything, but they do intermittent fasting and they're benefiting. Now, I don't recommend that you eat everything, but intermittent fasting is huge. And we do recommend it in the master fast, but I feel, many people are still unable to do that. We eat like sometimes for like 9 hours. I would avoid that, seriously. Intermittent fast, even when you eat on eating days, that's huge. And I find dry fasting is easier than liquid fasting. The cravings are much less. So dry fasting, intermittent, and then maybe towards the end of the day or whenever you prefer, you break it, fruits, and then vegetables, and finished. This way you don't eat all day long. Because once you have a lot of food inside, then your cravings will come back and you will feel more tired. But if you eat 1 meal, 2 meals maximum of light food, it makes a huge difference.
Nutrition is a lie. Focus on the fields, forget about matter. Dates, I don't eat them now and then. I eat a lot of dates. I love dates. As long as they're available, I'll eat them. There's simple food. You only need a few of them, and they're awesome. And they store very well. For some of them, store better than others. So yeah, I don't have a problem with any of the sugars. The ones you got to be careful are the fats, in my opinion. The avocados, the durian, which we love, but it's got fat in it, so you got to be careful with durian. It's much less fat than avocado, much less. 70 for avocado, about 30 for a durian. Olives about 20%. So the mid to lower things of fat would be a better choice than the higher fat stuff, right? And staying away from fat for the most part. You don't want to have it too often because it does cause problems.
Yeah,
in every sense of the way.
What I would choose more is local. Make my life simple. Hey, if I have an avocado tree, I'll put maybe half an avocado on my salad. I don't mind. I don't think it's gonna be that bad. If I have a durian tree, sure, I can break my fast with durian. I don't mind. I go with local, go back to God, God's food. Yeah, I agree. And Jose Cosme, I agree. Intermittent fasting is very beneficial. When I'm eating, I stick to the same schedule, absolutely, as when I'm fasting. Yes, I only eat in my window. Yes. I have seen, trust me, I have seen so many clients who eat the standard diet and they're intermittent fasting over the past 6 years, and they're benefiting. And why are we not doing it?
Eating less. Less is more.
Yeah, we have to. It's very important. It has been in the protocol, but I don't think we have been very, I would do it. I would do it. I have been doing it lately, the past 2 months, and I love it. Dry fasting when I eat, dry fasting, and then break with fruits and then vegetables. And I break it later in the day, so I'm not eating all day long. Because if I have more time, I would eat more. If I have more time, it's hard for me to stop. I would eat more. I'd be like, oh, let me try this before I fast tomorrow, Let me have a little bit more before I fast tomorrow. I've done it so many times. So it's good not to have too much time to eat, just a little bit of time, enjoy your fruits and vegetables. You can only eat so much. Yeah, you can only eat so much anyways, because you're fasting, your stomach is smaller, you're satisfied much faster. So just enjoy the flavors. And I've been doing the same with daily master fast, full master fast, 5 days a week, and breaking my dries towards later in the day, and drinking less. It's nice to have that freedom of like all day long without having to go to the bathroom. I go in the morning, maybe twice, when I wake up, after I wake up. But that's it. After that, I'm free of the bathroom until I break it, and then I wash my colon. It's really nice. It's freedom. 5 days a week. It's good when you're working, you're busy, you want to be productive. So you have that routine. And then on the weekend, you have the eating routine. Makes life simpler. And the cravings, much less when you dry than when you drink. And when you drink than when you eat. But it's at least when you're drying.
Today's the first day I did a sauna in a long time. I haven't had a sauna for a while.
You did?
The infrared sauna. We have also a steam sauna. Steam sauna we use for ozone. Haven't been doing anything because of so much busy schedules. Didn't have time to do anything.
Did you do the steam as well?
No. So yeah, it feels good to get in the sauna. If you have saunas, use them. Be careful on your dry days. Be very careful on your dry days, especially newbies. Lots of tools. You can sweat by running, riding a bike, exercise. Many ways. Keep the skin opened. Do your daily skin brushing. Morning and night's great. Skin.
Good habits.
The more we help our skin, the more we help our kidneys. Kidneys need all the help they can get in the environments that we live. So be wise and use the tools.
Help your body release. The best way you can help your kidneys is wash your colon.
Fast, live a mass fast lifestyle.
Right. Wash your colon for sure.
It's all part of it.
Like number one thing for the kidneys, in my opinion, because that's what blocks them in the first place. And master fast is all about releasing.
Stop blocking
them. Absolutely. Otherwise, it would be torture.
All right. If there's anybody else with some questions, or we'll wrap it up. Jose, one last thing before I leave. I just want to say thank you. Since I discovered MFS, my life has become so much easier. The burden of worrying about food weighed heavy on my daily life. Yeah, absolutely. There's so much more freedom in my life now. Thank you so much for sharing that, Jose. Yeah, it's a big relief. It's a
big change.
A much embraced freedom that we can take into our lives. The person that's eating, man, woman that's eating 2-3 times a day has no clue how much of a slave they are to the food. Once you've come to the realization that energy does not come from food, and we can limit what we eat, especially limit, not stop eating 7 days a week and have even more freedom, everything opens up, and it's just amazing. And the energies start flowing, and so on and so forth. And it all starts happening wonderfully. As the years go by, it only gets better and better and better as we master ourselves in this lifestyle. And it's always going to change and evolve in different ways, shapes, and forms. So embrace everything that comes, and don't worry about any time that we fall off, because as long as we have it in our consciousness to live a fasting lifestyle, it always is there, and we can embrace it anytime.
We used to fall off when we did all kinds of diets before Master Fast. So that's just, it's just the lifestyle. You go up and down until you find your balance. Find your balance between fasting and eating. If you want to fast for good, that's your choice too. Some people do, but if you just find your balance. Find your balance.
You've been here a while, I think, Jose. I don't remember if you've ever joined us on live calls. Maybe I don't remember, but Yeah, you've been around for a while, if I remember correctly. Seeing your name.
Thank you so much.
So
It's nice to hear people's, you know, stories, and if they have been helped by Masterclass, because it is a lifestyle change. It can really transform your life in so many ways. To our listeners more, you know, it helps. So
it's all about sharing. We're here in service, and
I never commented before.
there you go.
Thank you for
But
sharing.
you've been here a while, right? So yeah, it's awesome. Let's say a quick prayer. In the name of the divine light, one and only creator, may he shed his light upon everybody's hearts to awaken us and bring us into the new dimension, breaking ourselves out of that darkness and bringing the whole planet into a peace, balance, correct conduct format of higher order. Thank you so much. We will see you again on the page. We will see you Wednesday, Facebook Live, and next week on Friday Night Live. Thank you so much.
Being with us.
It's always a blast. Keep that plasma love always flowing.